Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to Belle's House of Polymer. Okay, so today I will be making a polymer slab. So for cherry blossom, because Chinese New Year is coming. But I'll start in about 2 minutes. So if you can just share the link, share the video on your Facebook page, okay? Share with your friends, tag your friends, okay? Whoever's interested in making polymer clay. We all need new accessories for Chinese New Year. So I'm going to do that now too. I have to share on my own page. So please go ahead and share. And then, yeah, please share with your friends. I like, usually Chinese New Year coming, everything must be new, right? So I'm making new accessories for myself. Then I think my husband is also happy I'm making for myself because he doesn't have to spend money to buy. So this is the, please go ahead and share. And then I'll start in about another minute. Okay, then I'll start teaching you all how to make the polymer clay. Now I have to share on my own page also. Post videos, let's see. Oh, there we go. Share. Okay. I'm still figuring out how to share all this. Facebook now is the Facebook Live. Not everyone's doing Facebook Live. Share. Well, I have to learn how to multitask better. Okay. Post share. Write the message. Okay, so in the meantime, for those that are watching with me, if you have any questions, let me know, okay? If you need me to slow down or repeat a step, I will try to do that. But today, it will be very simple, nothing too difficult, right? So I think it's about time that I'm going to start. So I can see your comments all on here. So if there's any questions, I'll answer along the way, okay? All right. So today there's just a few different clay. If you can see, there's a few different clays in front of me. So I'm making cherry blossom polymer clay slab. So then after I make the slab, I am going to do this for the earrings. I'm going to make earrings like that. Okay. So the polymer clay slab can be quite useful. You can use it to make earrings, you can use it to make bracelet, whatever accessories you need. Okay, more for ladies lah. All right. So for the clay, you need white. Okay. Then I have various shades of pink. If you can see here, you don't need a lot of pink. You just need various shades of pink. Okay. I took 3 shades of pink, but you need at least 2 because the flowers, you know, they have different shades. They are not all the same color. Cherry blossoms can range between pink to red. I think some of it is not red, but it's closer to a dark pink color. So you might want to find different shades of that. And then, okay, the last one I have is brown. So this brown will be for the branches. Okay. Usually cherry blossoms, if you see the Chinese painting, right? My reference was the Chinese painting lah. Not much leaves on the flower itself, okay? So it's mostly just the flowers and the branches. So that's what I'm trying to make today. So the white will be the background, and then the pink will be the flowers, brown will be the branches. Background, right, you can play around with the color a bit. So if you want to use like a teal color, it's okay also. But I'm just using white because everything is like white piece of paper lah, huh? So the white, you know, it will match well with the cherry blossom. But if you want to do a different color, you can go ahead and try. Just make sure it matches the color of your cherry blossoms, okay? Okay, then some of the tools you need a roller. For now, you need a roller and a cutter. Okay, these are some of the tools. And then toothpick. Toothpick, everybody knows what a toothpick is, okay? Toothpick. Very easy to find. All right. And then some different types of cookie cutters. Okay, you can do nothing too big because remember you'll be wearing this on your ears. Okay, so if you choose something very, very big, it's going to look huge. So you can choose some small cookie cutters. I think I got them, some of them from NTUC, some of them from Art Friend, you know, various places through online means and things like that. Okay, then you need your little tub of corn flour. Okay, so this corn flour will help for to coat the cookie cutter so that your clay doesn't stick onto it. And then I have some of the accessories here for making the earrings later. Okay, so I have beads, I have the ear hoops, jump rings, and then the eye pin. So all these will be needed. And then I will show it to you all later what it is. And then the pliers to put everything together. Okay, so I will start with the polymer clay first, the white one. Okay, we always start with the lighter color so that it will, the dark colors will not get mixed in. Okay, because if a color gets mixed into your white, it's very obvious. Now I'm just cleaning the tools to make sure that there's no leftover clay on it. Okay, so start with the roller. I just take a little bit of white. So remember, right, the amount of white to use, make sure it's not too much. Because if you use too much, it will be too big. You will have a very big piece, and then you have to fill this very big piece. It will take you very, very, very long to make. So you just want to make sure that it's not too big. Okay, so that you have enough, so that it's not too difficult for you lah. The bigger your piece of paper, the more you have to draw on it. That's why it is. So you make, if you do it a bit smaller, then you don't need to fill up the whole sheet. Okay, when you roll it out, so when you flatten it, 5 to 3, not very, not very, going to layer with flowers and branches later. Okay, so for the pink shade that I'm doing now, I'm also starting with the lighter pink first. Okay, so same thing, I am going to roll out my sheet. So start in the middle, roll towards you. Okay, and then I just keep starting in the middle, rolling it towards me. Then this will make sure that this will ensure that my sheet is about the same thickness. Okay, it's not too thick or not too thin on one side. So this one will be also about 2 to 3 mm thick because we're layering everything. Then once we layer, if it's too thick, it will end up being too heavy. Okay. So now I'm starting with the other pink. So basically, I'm just repeating the steps. So I start in the middle, roll towards me. You can choose to have more of which shade of pink is up to you also. But I don't have very much, I didn't use very much of the clay because if not, I will end up with too much excess also, okay? So then the last one is the darkest one. So basically, I am just repeating the steps. Okay, so just rolling up into a flat sheet. Start from the middle and then go towards you. If there's any questions, you can ask, okay? So this is Chinese New Year earrings. I think my husband was very happy when I said I'll make my own accessories. Don't have to buy. So he was like, oh, good. Don't need to spend money. Okay, so for the pink, right, I'm going to use this small, like, flower cookie cutter that I have. Okay, this one I got from Art Friend. So Art Friend has very small cookie cutters. It's really for accessories. I dip it in my corn flour or your cornstarch, whatever it is lah. Okay, and then I just cut out a few flowers here. All right. Now, if you're working on a glass top like I am, sometimes the clay can get stuck to it. So you just use your cutter to lift it up this way. If you try and use your finger to scrape it off, right, the clay will go out of shape, especially when it's something so small. So to make sure that it doesn't do that, okay, you just use the cutter to slide it underneath and lift it off, and then it will be fine. Okay, so then this is my dark pink or the middle tone. You just slide it underneath to lift it up. Okay. And then this is the darkest color. Okay. So I can cut this way. So let's say I feel like I don't have enough of the flowers. Okay. And I want some more flowers. I will roll my clay again. So I'll make my clay, the leftover clay, into a sheet. And then I'll cut out more flowers. Okay, so if you can see here, right, there's some like corn flower on my clay. It's okay, you can just wipe it off. It'll come right off. And if you bake it, it actually won't burn. So you don't have to be too worried if there's like too much flour on it. So maybe I think I'll cut out some more. So I'll flatten it again. I'll roll it into a sheet again and then cut a few more flowers from the sheet. So about 1 to 2 mm, 2 to 3 mm thick. Too thin also it might crack. So you don't want it to be too thin. Okay, so depending on how big your white sheet is, right? Then that's how many flowers you have to make. So the white sheet is about 5 cm by 5 cm. It's not big at all. So I don't have to cut out too many flowers. So just cut a few more of this color out. I like doing, like Cindy was saying, she said DIY is very interesting on the comment. Yeah, I also agree. I like to create my own pattern sometimes. Because when I was searching online for Chinese New Year accessories for inspiration, um, there were some there were some things I saw that looked very pretty, but I didn't like some parts of it. So I was trying to incorporate a few different um, ideas into my own thing. So I tried to, that's why DIY, you know, I really like it because you can control the outcome actually of what you want. You can keep trying until you have what you want. So, and it's a time for me to de-stress lah, actually, when I'm coming up with ideas and doing DIY things also. I like working, like being creative and using my hands to work. So this is a good way for me to actually explore my creative side. Because usually when on my job, I don't really have that. I don't really expand that much of that side of my brain a lot. So drawing and doing clay arts, I actually really like to do. Playing around with colors is fun also. Okay, so you can blow it off. Okay. So I have a few different flowers now. I'm done with the flowers. Just use the cutter to lift it off so I don't make it out of shape. Clean part of the table. Then I put the white on top now, okay? So now I'm going to so-called fill the blank piece of paper. So I will start with my light pink first. Okay, usually I start with a certain color first so that it's easier for me to decide where I want to place it. Okay, I just randomly place them. All right, and then overlap. You can randomly just put it at one spot, or you can overlap with others. Okay, so I do some just placing on its own and some overlapping, and then the darker color. So it actually looks like you're building the cherry blossom. Okay, so don't worry about it overlapping too much or things like that, because we are going to cut it later with the cookie cutters to create your accessories. Okay, no, I'll leave this up. Okay, so I think this is done. So it will look something like that. All right. So it's just randomly I place all these flowers on top. Okay. So now I'm going to have, the brown I was talking about earlier for the branches. Okay, we are going to create the branches. So this brown I have is actually like a scrap brown. It was left over from some other project. That's why you can see there's like different colors to it and things like that. But usually branches also there's different shades. So you don't have to worry. Okay, so if you need to reuse, you go ahead reuse. If you don't have, then that's fine. You just get any brown clay to make the branches. This is chocolate brown color. Okay, they have darker ones, but the chocolate brown I think stands out a bit better with the pink and the white. The darker ones are too dark. Okay, so then I will decide from what point to start at. So I roll out the brown into just like string light. It's a bit string like, and then let's say I want, because tree starts from a trunk and then it will branch out, right? So I actually just decide where I want the point of the branching out to be. So I choose where there's more white space. So over here there's more white space, so I actually decide to start my branching out from there. So this will be my start point, and then from there I'll build the branches. Okay, this is just a reference to make it a bit more realistic. Okay, and not so haphazard when you're adding the branches to the clay itself. But you don't have to be too accurate. Okay, you can play around with it. So basically, what I'm doing, I'm tearing the I'm actually using my fingers to tear out the string as well. I am not using a cutter to cut it, because if I use a cutter to cut it, it will look too straight. Whereas if I tear it, the ends will be a little bit more sharp. It might look a bit more natural. Okay. And then branches don't have to be straight. Where on trees, branches are never really straight. So you can always just, it can be a bit crooked, it can bend in different directions, things like that. So that's to make it a bit more natural looking. Okay, if you think like my fingers are too fat, right, and then I cannot manage to put it on very well, you can use the toothpick to help you. So just use the toothpick to kind of shift it to where you want, and then to press it down to the spot you want it to lay in. It's okay if your toothpick leaves certain marks, okay, on the branches, because branches, some of them are not very smooth either. Okay, for cherry blossom plants, I don't think they are very smooth, so they have a bit of texture to it. So you can add the texture to the branch itself with the toothpick. Okay, so my branches are all starting. So like I said, I'm starting from this point. So I am actually trying to create like the branches to branch out from there. If there's any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. Then answer the questions, okay? If you want to have a session with me, please go ahead and you can private message me, join the Facebook group, okay? Let me know, and then we can arrange for something. If you want to arrange for a shopping trip to see what you want to buy, where can you buy it from? This is a good way to also ask for suggestions, because I'm trying to create a community here so that those who are interested in doing polymer clay, right, has the opportunity to at least they have someone or people they can starting out if it's a new project, new uh, arts and craft hobby for you. Okay, then you won't be so lost. Because when I first started, there wasn't really a lot of help. I couldn't really ask a lot of people, so I had to search a lot and through a lot of trial and error. Then I was able to and mistakes are basically I was able to figure out what I needed. Okay, so this is roughly how the branches for your cherry blossom would look like. Okay, it doesn't have to be too accurate or anything like that. So right now, after adding the branches, it will look like this. Okay? All right, so then with the toothpick also, I am going to create texture on the flowers. Because now my flowers look a little bit flat, right? So I'm going to, at the edge of each petal, I'm just going to use my toothpick and put some lines there. So there'll be texture. So I will show you, okay? I'm using the tip of my toothpick, but I will show you how the outcome looks like. Right? So, hang on, I'm doing it for every. Okay, if you can see the difference here, so this is the one that I added texture to. You can tell that there's a bit of texture, 3D effect on the flower, okay? For those that I didn't add any texture to, it looks very flat. So at the edge of every petal, if you add a few lines with the tip of your toothpick, okay, it will help to create some kind of effect for your flowers. Okay. So if you look at the Chinese painting for cherry blossoms, right, sometimes you'll see some lines they will draw on the petals itself. So this is pretty much what I'm trying to recreate with that. So hence my poster, the background was like a painting of cherry blossom, Chinese painting, okay? This is where I got my inspiration from for Chinese New Year accessories. Okay, so every petal, I am just adding some texture with the tip of the toothpick. Sometimes I like experimenting with different tools that we have at home, like what kind of texture I can create with that, you know. So toothpick, I use toothpick a lot, satay stick. Sometimes I use aluminum, the aluminum foil sponge, toothbrush. I really have used a lot of things from the house. Sometimes my husband will look at me like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do with that? So polymer clay is actually a very fun medium to work with. Okay, you can create many different things with it. So I did it so much until one of my friends said my whole house is made out of polymer clay. hence, hence the name for Belle's House of Polymer because my house is full of polymer clay and I think I can make a house with polymer clay already. He was telling me, at this rate I'm going, yeah, everything will be made out of polymer clay. So yeah, but I really enjoy it. I like giving away my stuff too. So because I have so much of it, a lot of people I've given away a lot of the accessories I've made. I really sometimes I make things for friends also, and because I know what they like, I actually customize to it. So it can be a very meaningful gift. Okay, so I'm done with the whole slab now. So like I was saying, right, if your slab is very, very big, right, you have to fill the whole thing, which can take you a very long time. But today I made something like quite small. Today it is 5 cm, about 5 cm, like roughly circle. So, it's not too much. Okay? All right. Then the next step is you can choose a few different cookie cutters. Okay, see which one you like. Uh, and then you can create your accessories with it. So I have a flower petal, I have a circle, then I have a teardrop. I think I'll do the teardrop and the circle because today my clay not very big. Maybe I can do 2 teardrop and 2 circles. We will try. Okay, so coat it in the corn flour. So the slab you can cut it however you like. Okay, I'm trying to maximize the use of it. Okay. And then 1 teardrop. Let me see whether I can squeeze and make. Oh yes, just nice. I can make. I can squeeze 4 of it. Okay, so I just leave off the sides. And then I'm left with my circle and my... Okay. So I blow off the excess clay. So I'm left with my circle, my 2 circles, and my teardrop. So I'm just going to put the cutter underneath to lift it up. Okay. So after cutting, I have these 4 pieces here. Okay. If you want to make a lot of beads, right, then of course you will have a bigger sheet. But then you have a lot of accessories too. So you want to make sure, if you have a lot of aunties like I do, right, you can give them away to all your aunties. My sister, my brother, I have a lot of female relatives that I can give it away to. So if you want to make gifts for them, this is a good way to make it in bulk and then give it away. And you can make each one a bit different because you have different cookie cutters, right? Different shapes, and then you can use the different shapes and create different like patterns with it. Okay, so to create a bead, to make it into a bead, right, I have to poke a hole so that I can connect everything together. So, right, when I'm poking a hole for my beads, I'll use the toothpick. The toothpick is very useful. Okay, and then I will put it about half a cm away from the edge. Because if I put it too close to the edge, right, it will crack when I hook things through. So you just want to make sure, whoops, whoops, whoops. You just want to make sure it's about half a cm away from the hole itself. Okay. So I'm using a toothpick. And when I use the toothpick to poke through, I will twist the toothpick while poking through the clay. Okay. So that it will go in a bit smoothly. And then my teardrop also, same thing. Half a cm away from the tip. then half a cm away. 有欧巴 say 新年快乐，新年快乐，欧巴。In Korean is Sebok Mani Pada Seo. Yay! I remember. Yes, Oppa taught me a long time ago. Sebok Mani Pada Seo. Okay, so now like this is done, right? I am going to put this in the oven. Okay, so the toaster I have here is a very small toaster. Sorry, my stomach very big now. Okay, yeah. So I have a small toaster here. So I only put the bottom grill, okay, to turn on the bottom grill. So if it burns, only the bottom part burns and my top doesn't burn. And then at least my clay can be saved. All right. And I put in for 5 minutes only because this toaster oven is very small. So if it's a bigger one, like the built-in one that I have at home, I use one that is, I put in for about 20 to 25 minutes and then the temperature is 120 degrees Celsius. Okay. Over here, the low, I think it's about 100, then it's 150. So also it should be about 120. I put it somewhere in between. But because the toaster oven is so small, it heats up very quickly. So when I checked the timing, it was about 5 minutes, okay? So if you want to be on the safe side, you're not sure your toaster oven can take like how long it takes to cook in it, right? Or bake, I'm sorry. You test for 5 minutes first. And then after that, you can use your nail. I call it a nail test. So you flip to the back of your bead or your product, and then you use your nail to poke it. And if your nail mark is there, it's still underbaked, you have to stick it in. I would suggest sticking in for about 2 minutes, and then take it out again, and then redo the test again. Okay? So once you figure out how long it takes to bake, then you know that it should be in maybe like 7 minutes, things like that. Just leave it there for 7 minutes next. You don't have to keep taking it out. But it depends on how big your oven is. All right. So I already set my timer. So while I'm waiting for that, okay, I will show you what you need. Okay. So there are several things because I have a teardrop shape and I have a circle shape, right? So I found this. Okay, I'm making earrings, so we need the ear hooks for sure. So we will have 2 pairs. So this is the ones, okay. These are the standard ones. I'm using gold today. Chinese New Year is gold lah. Cannot be any other color. Because Chinese New Year usually is gold. All right. These are the standard ear hoops. There are fancier ones out there that you can buy. Okay. You can get it from Art Friend, from Beadsmith, I think. These are some of the bead shops I got it from. Okay. And then I found this also, and I thought these were really cute. It's it looks a bit like the Chinese pattern. I don't know what kind of pattern now, but every time I see the decoration on the door, they stick on the door with the 福字. It reminds me of that. So this kind of look like it is gold also. So one pair, I'm going to add it to one pair of the earrings. And then I really like jade color. So I found beads that are jade color. Okay. So I think this goes well with usually green and plants. Anyway, all trees, plants has green, right? So green actually matches a lot of colors because you have like 1,000 different flower colors out there. So, and usually leaves are green and brown. So green and brown actually can match many, many different colors. If you think according to like nature, right? The trees, and flowers they always have green and brown. So green and brown can actually match. For those that are learning clay lah, okay, if you're thinking about green and brown, right? They actually match many, many different colors and you can do quite a lot of things with it. Okay, then of course to do my jade beads, to put my jade beads together, I need the eye pin. Okay, let me get another pair. So I have an eye pin. Eye pin is the one with the hole on top. Okay, that is eye pin. A T pin is the one that's flat. Okay, there's no hole there. It's just a flat pin. But eye pin is the one that has a hole so that you can connect it to other things. And then we need our jump rings, okay? So this is a jump ring. And this is standard for all. This is standard for all accessories. This is if you're making accessories, you must buy this. All right. This is the one that will help you to connect all your beads together. So you definitely need jump rings, okay? So, oh, time's up. My timer went off. So, oh, it's steaming. It's a little bit hot. Hang on. I just took it out in time. I think it just started to burn actually. Well, just actually started burning. Okay. So I took it out just in time because it actually started to burn. Later I'll show you after it cools down, all right? So I'll still get ready the beads in front of me. Okay, if your clay burns, right, it's an irreversible process. You can be safe already. That's the that's the downside of it. All right. So if you really want to make sure that it doesn't burn, you have to keep watching the oven. Okay. So for the one I made, it has burnt, but I think the color is still okay. A bit. It's actually very brown. The back, that's why you can see the back is completely gone already. But it's very brown. So it's irreversible, whatever is done is done. It cannot be changed back to white, especially with white. Okay. So, but I'm okay with the color still, but if it doesn't burn, it should look like this. That's how much difference there is, okay? So you can see the successful outcome and the not so successful outcome. All right. But okay, I'm still okay with the color, so it's fine. But you can tell when it doesn't burn. My oven at home is the big oven, not the small toaster oven. So that one, it's easier for me to control the temperature. So if you have a small toaster oven, right, you really want to be very careful. I should have left it in maybe for a minute lesser, 4 minutes instead of 5. Okay, it will make a difference. All right. So this is actually the difference. Oh. Okay, so then now, right, I am actually going to create this. Or, actually, I'll do this. Maybe I'll make it a bit different, have different pattern now. Okay, so I'll put my square with the teardrop shape. And then my round jade beads. Like this. So I want to design, every time when I'm designing earrings, I always place it out first. I lay it out to figure out if I want to make it this way, if I'm happy with it, I can do it, or I can swap. I can make it mismatch also with one like that. Okay, totally up to you, but I won't do mismatch lah. Like this. Okay, once you're happy with it, you can start connecting everything together. So the jump ring. Here we need pliers, okay? So I have my sharp nose plier. Sharp nose plier. This one is sharp at the end. This one is flat nose plier, okay? So I will use one to help me hold. We'll connect. Okay, and then I will connect the jump rings together like this. Okay, so the earring, I have to twist it a bit maybe so that it has to face the front. So this way. Okay, and then another jump ring again. Okay, and then to connect. Well, you can really smell that I burned the clay. There's a burnt smell in the room now. Okay, that is also one of the telltale signs that it's probably time to take out the clay from your toaster oven. Okay, when you can smell a burnt, it smells like burnt toasted bread smell. Okay, when you can smell that kind of smell, it's already gone already. The clay is burnt already. So you just want to make sure that it doesn't get to this point. All right. Another way to tell that it is burning is when you start seeing like a bit of smoke. The clay will start to smoke a little bit. Okay, when it smokes a little bit, you quickly take it out. That is when it's not burnt, really burnt yet. So that is still okay. But once it starts to smoke a lot, when you open it, all the smoke comes out, it is burnt already. So it's hard to save. Okay, it's like your food like that. Once smoke come out already, your food is burnt, cannot eat already. Okay, same thing. All right, so I'm basically connecting using my pliers to connect. The jump rings are very important when you're making accessories. So you're using it to connect. Okay, and then to twist it a little so that it faces the front. Another jump ring again. Okay. So I shall hang it on here. This is one of the earrings. Okay, wait. Not hanging. Okay, I'll put it here. Hang on. Okay. The back of it is really burnt. Okay. So I think for these earrings, I'm going to tell my whoever I'm giving it to that the background is meant to be brown and not white. It's meant to be a brown background and not white background. So yeah, some people won't know. Okay, or I can wear them myself and tell others that, oh, this is supposed to be it's purposely made like that. Okay, so I use a wire cutter because my eye pin was too long. And then I have a round nose plier here to kind of create the other round end. Okay. And then I'm going to connect one side to the ear hoops. Oh, thing. Okay. The toaster oven just went off. Okay, hang on. To connect it. And then for the other side. So I'll cut away what I don't need. Round nose pliers are quite helpful because you can create the connecting part, okay, easily. If you don't have round nose pliers, you just have the sharp nose one. It's actually to create the round end of the for the eye pin to connect it. Okay, and then you have the jump ring to connect. So it looks like this. Then the other side. A lot of people sometimes will complain to me also, oh my goodness, how do you do it so quickly? Or they will comment, how do you do it so quickly? Sometimes when we do, it takes us very, very long to connect all the beads together. It's with a lot of practice. A lot of things you need a lot of practice, then you can do it quickly. You get used to it too. But this are thing actually, once you do it quite often, right, you'll get very quick. So don't worry too much about it. All right. Okay. So as you can see from here, you can see the not so successful side and the successful side. Okay. So this is how but yeah, you can still, the not so successful side is you can still wear it and just tell your friends that the background is a bit of a different color. You decided to do something a bit different from the first time. Okay. So this is the outcome for today. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Okay. Definitely play around. If you're not too sure for your toaster oven, right? My suggestion is okay. Actually, try and put something like just a piece of clay inside first, and see how long it takes before it starts to burn. So don't put in your product that you're trying to do first, and then after that it burns, then you'll be very sad about it. Okay. So just roll out a flat sheet of clay, put it inside, see how long it takes. See when it starts to burn. Okay, adjust with the temperature, play around with that also. All right. I'm done for today. Then I have a session 2 weeks time again. Next time someone will be joining me. It will be Oppa, because we'll create something for our baby. My baby is coming already very soon. So we'll do a project together. Hopefully he won't be too stressed about it. Okay, I'll see you all again next time. Please stay tuned. After this is Pang. And then there will be at 4 o'clock, there will be Sebastian Lao, he'll be teaching you how to make soap. Okay, that will be very interesting also. So today there'll be many sessions. Please stay tuned. And I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you. Oh, 2 weeks time, I'm sorry. Bye bye. See you all.